So moving on, our next example is x minus 2 squared. Pardon me. Our next example is x minus half squared is equal to 9 over 4. So I've just simply rewritten this, and you'll see very quickly why I've done this. So I'm going to, if you notice on the left-hand side, I have this beautiful perfect square. On the right-hand side, I have a constant. Now the constant just happens to be a fraction, but don't worry, it's still a constant. But it's the perfect square that's really so important to us. So later on in this unit, we'll be trying to create a perfect square. So first thing, if I have a perfect square on one side, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I need to consider, when I apply the square root, I need to consider both positive and negative roots. There I go again with that crazy saying, but it's absolutely important. If I take the square root of the left-hand side, I get x minus 1/2. If I take the square root of the right-hand side, it is the square root of 9 over 4. Well, this yields the square root of 9 over the square root of 4. At the end of this video, I'll explain why we can break up our square roots like that. So I'm just going to simplify the left-hand or the right-hand side just ever so slightly. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 4 is 2. So my solutions are really x is equal to, or x minus 1/2 is equal to plus or minus 3 over 2. The next step I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding 1/2 to both sides. And there we have it. So really, this breaks up into two solutions. x1 is 1/2 plus 3 over 2, and x2 is 1/2 minus 3 over 2. x1 is going to be 2. 1/2 plus 3/2 is 4/2, 2. x2 is 1/2 minus 3/2. Now this is 1/2 minus 3/2 is negative 2/2, or negative 1. So what we see is, therefore, we have solutions at x is equal to negative 1 and 2. So if you recall way back when, if I have a fraction a over b to the power of n, we could rewrite this as we could distribute the exponents as a to the n, b to the n. This seems entirely unconnected to what's going on here. But if you recall from grade 10, if I have the square root of a, we can always introduce that as an exponent, a to the 1/2. So essentially what I did when I had the square root of 9 over 4, well, the square root is really just an exponent. So I can apply exponent laws. And I'm really, just as what we've did with the example above, I'm distributing the square root to both the numerator and the denominator.